There was such a profound need to have them close to me. I couldn't imagine how I was going to be able to live like this. What would I do if I couldn't walk again? How could I possibly eat? I couldn't swallow anything except a little sip of water. Eventually, I became malnourished and lost 50 pounds. How the hell was I going to manage a colostomy bag when I couldn't move my arms or my hands? While on this journey, I had to make some important choices. One definition of resilience is the ability to bounce back, adapt, and recover quickly from tough times, stress, or major changes. It means keeping a steady mind and moving forward instead of giving up when life gets hard. I'm not going to say this was easy, but I knew all the medical help in the world would not heal me unless I decided to do the work necessary to live the life I wanted to have. I discovered the power of my mind, that when my body began to recover, it was important to put my effort into telling my body what to do and not focus on the pain of doing it. Because trust me, every time I tried to move something, it hurt. I learned my body had cell memory. When I began to move again, it all felt familiar. I've always known people are important to me, but during my recovery, I had to be willing to reach out to others. I had to be able to ask for help when I needed it, not feel guilty about it, because we all fall into that. Oh, I don't want to bother you. And to surround myself with loving, supporting people. I was a tour guide at that time for the city of Saratoga Springs, and I loved it. I had to give that up. I knew I had to give up the position of chairman of the board of trustees for our church. I could no longer sing in the choir. My life had changed in so many ways, and I had to learn to adapt. I won't tell you I held it all together all the time, because I didn't. There were times I was angry, there were times I was frustrated, and there were just times I wanted to give up. But all the hard work and struggle paid off. And a year later, I am now back as a tour guide. I serve on our worship team, and I'm in the choir, and working as a volunteer for Mary's Haven, a hospice home. There were so many people who helped me get here, and I want to acknowledge them. As Hillary Clinton said, it takes a village, and what a wonderful village I had. First, a wonderful surgeon named Dr. Sean Boyle, who literally saved my life. He and his whole team were by my side all through my recovery, and even he could not believe I made it through and wanted to give me a hug at my first post-op visit. There was a nurse who came to my room one night, and while caring for me, she asked me how I got so sick. I wasn't even really sure. I explained the best way I knew how, that what happened to me, and she asked if she could pray for me. I was deeply touched and encouraged by her kindness and loving words. There was another head nurse who comforted me another night when I was sure I was going to die. He declared that in no uncertain terms was that going to happen, because my life had already been saved. And he told me now I was going to have to do the work to get better. I want all of you to know that Sunnyview Hospital is a healing haven. My therapist there worked with me 3.5 hours a day for a month to get me back in my body so I could walk again, brush my teeth again, hold a cup of water again, and take a blessed hot shower again. My son John and his wife, the lovely Zadie, thank you both for all your time and effort that you had to make to be by my side, most of all for your love. Laura Kalb, she's in our choir, my friend and personal Uber driver. Laura, I looked back in my calendar this week, and I found at least 20 dates when you took me to all my appointments, and I'm sure I've missed some. Laura was also the first one to take me out to a restaurant to eat, and she even took me out to shop a little bit. Daniela, my friend, who came to my house for weeks to help me strengthen my legs through the sound of wonderful bells. and Karen Peoples, my dear friend, whose phone calls and encouragement helped me so much. Last week, Reverend Viola talked about the meaning of home, what we call it and where we find it. I've had many different homes over the years, and I've learned for me it's where I am. And now it's at number 4 Andover Avenue in Wilton with my friend Deborah, who offered a place for me when I needed one and where I couldn't wait to return when I got out of the hospital. Carolyn Lansbury, who sent me daily texts asking how I was doing. Elizabeth Collins, who always checked to make sure I had enough deviled eggs, although she told me I couldn't eat them all because John wanted some. Yeah, there you go. It was the one thing I could always get down my throat easily. Terry Lee Muth, who, if you all didn't know, has Sewing Machine Will Travel. She came to alter my PJs for me when I lost weight. She came to the Sunnyview Center and sat there with her sewing machine. Fixed my PJs. And the amazing care team, led by Jen Pratt. All of you who came, I know I can't remember everybody's name. I've always known I love this congregation, but I never knew I was loved back. Thank you for all the cards, the texts, the emails, the phone calls. You all brought me back to the living. And I want to honor 2 special people here today, Charlie Kunzel and Karen Verigny. I have loved being a tour guide at the Saratoga Visitor Center, and when I had to stop for a whole year and I wanted to come back, I didn't know if I would get to do it because I thought maybe they had found a replacement. And some of you may already know Charlie. He is the face and the voice of the history of Saratoga Springs. He might have taught some of your kids. And Karen is the director, executive director there at the Visitor Center, juggling 40 balls at a time. And they took the time to welcome me back. And I'm so grateful because that's my happy place. Finally, to John Fisher, who provided caring words of wisdom, helped me through a crisis of faith, and convinced me this life is worth living. Amen. So now it is time for our giving. For the gifts, which, oh. Oh, wow. Thank you. Okay, thank you.